Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is YAHMAD. Today we're going to be looking at the March 2016 paper 3 from the ICT IGCSE course. So I'm going to be redoing the website section using Microsoft Expression Web 4. So previously I've created this video using Adobe Dreamweaver. So we're going to be redoing it. So let's scroll down. The evidence document I already have from the previous video. I've deleted the print screen so we can redo the print screens. Okay, so task 2. You basically work for Hothouse Design and we need to develop some web pages. Many of the people who review the web page have a very slow internet connection, so efficient markup must be used. The first thing we need to do is create a new folder called m16_html. So let's go to my source folder. Let's right click to make a new folder. Paste the name in. And then what we need to do is locate the following files and place them into your folder. So basically all of the JPEG pictures plus the CSS file. So we can highlight these files. So I'm pressing Ctrl to select these files. And also we need to include the CSS file. Let's move them into the folder. Okay. So once you've done that, let's scroll down to question 1. What we need to do is we need to create a new web page called M16CP. So let's open up Microsoft Expression Web 4. To create a new web page, you go to File, New HTML, and let's save this page. So if you go to Save As, if we go back to Documents, Web Expression, 2016, March. So here's a folder that we just created. So make sure you save everything into the same folder, and let's type in the name. So m16.cp. You don't need to include the file extension htm. Save. Okay, so now the next question is we have to create the table structure shown below. So before we create the table structure, let's identify how many rows and columns we have. So we got 1, 2, 3 columns, and for rows we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And when creating a table, let's identify how wide across the table is. So this table is 900 pixels wide. So to create the table, you click on Table at the top, you click on Insert Table. We had 6 rows, 3 columns, and the table in pixels is 900 pixels wide. So this is the only thing we need to include. Now the height we can include when we resize the cells later on. So we don't need to include anything else beyond this point. So 6 rows, 3 columns, the table is 900 pixels wide. Okay, so now what we're going to be doing is let's merge the cells. So you'll notice the bottom row has been merged completely across. Okay, so if you highlight the cells, right click, click on Modify, Merge Cells. The top row, second and third column has been merged. So let's do this. So right click, Modify, Merge the cells. And then you'll notice these cells here being all merged together as well. So let's highlight these cells here, modify, click on merge. Right, now we need to enter the height or basically the size of each cell. So this cell here is 600 wide, 200 pixels wide. 600 pixels wide, 200 pixels would be the height. So let's put the size of that cell in. So if we right click here and go to cell properties, 600 pixels wide, and then the height is 200. Make sure you select the pixels, apply. Okay. The next two cells, C and D, is 300 by 300. So let's do that one. So right click, cell properties, 300 by 300. Apply. Okay. The next set of cells, E and F, is 300 by 100 pixels. Okay, so let's highlight the next set. .300 wide, 100 pixels will be the height. Apply. Okay, let's go down. The next set of cells are 300 by 300. So again, highlight the cells, go to cell properties, 300 by 300. Make sure you selected pixels. Okay, and then it's going to be 300 by 100. Again, highlight the cells, right click, go to cell properties. So 300 pixels wide, height will be 100 pixels. Okay, the bottom row is the height, it will be 80, so you don't want to put 900 pixels wide because the table is already going to be 900 pixels wide. So if you go to the bottom row, cell properties, the height is going to be 80. Okay, apply. And this cell here, so cell A is 300 by 1000. So right click, cell properties. So 300 pixels wide, 1000 pixels will be the height. Okay, so let me double check. Did we do this one as well? This should be 600 by 200. So let me double check. So cell properties, yep, 600 by 200. Now, if you go to the code, you'll see all of the dimensions for each of the rows and columns. So TR stands for rows. So basically in the first row we have two cells. So if you go to design view, so in the first row you got this cell and then this cell here. Okay. If you go to the last row, you'll notice there's only one TD because we only have one cell in the last row. Okay, so that's a table created. Let me just double check I've entered the height for each cell. So TD refers to each cell. Yeah, that's all done. So later on you will be copying the HTML. This is the HTML and your marks will come from this piece of code here for resizing the table. So that's that done. So each table cell is identified with a letter and all dimensions are in pixels. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Go down. The letters shown in the table must not appear on your final web page. Table borders must not appear on the final web page as well. I'm going to highlight this. I might have to come back to this later on. So now we're going to be doing question 2. So we're going to be placing some pictures. So in cell A, which is this cell here, we can double check. Yep. We're going to insert the logo image. So to insert the image, let's go back to design view. Click on cell A. We can click on this icon here. Insert a picture from file, and we're going to, let's go back to the right folder, 2016 March, and we're going to be inserting the logo image. Now when you insert any picture, I would also include alternative text. So this is basically text that will load up in case the picture does not load up. If you press OK, the picture has been inserted. Then if you go to the code, you'll see the alternative text also appears in the code as well. Sometimes the question paper may ask you later to include the alternative text. Alright, so that's that done. So in question 3 in cell B, enter the text redesign, recreate, rebuild, furnish, sell or rent. So which one was cell B? Cell B is the top one. So let's just paste that text in. And what we need to do is we need to format this text as H1. Let me just highlight these. Okay, so highlight the text, come up to the properties bar and then select heading 1. So is it heading 1? Yes, it is. Okay, so for question 4 we need to insert some images into cells C, D, G and H. So let's have a look at the table first of all. So C, D to G and H. Let me double check again. Yes, so C, D, G and H. So it's going to be these two cells and these two cells. We have to place images. And what we need to do is basically select an appropriate image from M16 image 1 to M16 image 8. So if we go to my folder, make it a little bit bigger. Let's see. So we're basically selecting images from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay, so let's do C first of all. So the image of a plot of land for sale. C is going to be this cell here, so it's basically in the second row. Okay, so let's click inside C. let's click on here again to insert a picture. So we need to select a picture of a plot of land for sale. So here, I don't know if you can see, there's a for sale sign. So I'm going to select this picture here. I'm going to include my alternative text. So plot for sale. So this text will be displayed if the picture does not load up. Okay, so that's the first picture inserted. So in D, we're going to insert a builder making a wall. Okay, so let's click inside D, click on the icon to insert a picture, and I think it's going to be the one with the bricks, or maybe, yeah, it's here. It could be this one here because we see bricks. However, you can see a builder actually building a wall. Okay, so there's some concrete here as well. So let's select this picture here. Building a wall will be the alternative text in case the picture doesn't load up. If we come down, so for G and H, we skip a row and we go to the next row after. So it's basically going to be 1, 2, 3 in the fourth row now. So here, that's G. And what do we insert for G? So G is going to be a beachfront cafe. So insert, let's just click on here again. Yep, that's a beach and it's a cafe. Let's double click. Let's type in beach cafe for the alternative text. And finally, the last picture which we need to insert is a Portuguese style house, and that's going to be in H, which is next to this cell here. So again, click on the icon to insert picture, and this is the house. Okay. Right, that's that done. Question 4 finished. Let's move on to question 5. So make sure appropriate text is displayed if the image is not available. So I've been doing this as I've been going along. If you haven't, you can always right click on the picture, go to picture properties, and then type in the alternative text. Okay, so if you do go to the code, you can see for each picture we have the alternative text. So this is for the house, this one's for the plot for sale, building a wall, and then beach cafe. So let's go back to normal view. So now we have to insert some text. So E and F, let me just find out where E and F was. So E and F is the third row. Yeah, we're going to enter the following text: prime location building plots for sale. So let's put that into the third row, which is here. Next to it, local construction workers. Okay, and I'm guessing the next two sets of text will go here. So, yeah, I and J. Let me just confirm I and J is along the bottom. Yes, I and J. Let's copy this. Obviously, in the exam, you'd have to be writing this information in since you won't have the exam paper electronic format. So you'll have it printed in front of you. Okay. So once you've done that, we're going to format all of this text to H2. So set all text as style H2. So let's highlight this text here, format H2. And also the text above. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the code again, and if you see in the code, you'll see H2 is at the start of the text, and then the tag is closed for a backward slash, and then H2 again. So this shows that this text here has been formatted as heading 2. Right, so that's that part done. So in cell K, enter the text. So let me double check where K is. K should be the last cell. Yep. Web design by Hothouse Design. Page last edited by. Then we're going to basically enter your name, center number, and candidate number, and this will be set as heading 3. So set this text as style heading 3. So let's insert the text first of all. Then we need to include my name, center number, so I'll use 5678, candidate number 1234, highlight the text and select heading 3. Okay, job done. Right, question 8, center line a table in a browser and save the web page. Now there's two ways in which we can do this. There's an easier method, so let's just go to my table. So you can click on a table, make sure it's all highlighted, and then you can simply click here to center line a table, and that will work. So if we go to File, Preview in Browser, Chrome, you should see the tables being center aligned. If I press Edit Undo, so now in some mark schemes they want you to actually edit your code. So if you go to your code, at the top of your code, the first line for the table, we have to edit this code as well. So what we need to do is include a semicolon, because that's the end of this part of the code. And then we need to insert code for the margins. So the margins for the left and right will both be automatic. So if I type in margin left automatic, semicolon, margin right automatic, and then semicolon. So sometimes they will look for this in your HTML code. So it's basically making both margins on left and right automatic, which will center align the table. So if we go to the browser again, and you can see the table still center aligned. So the reason I'm showing you both methods is in a mark scheme to do ask for the second method I've seen in some examples. Anyway, let's move forward now. So question 9, so make the text hothouse design. Let's find that text first of all. Here we go. Let's just highlight it. Make the text hothouse design hyperlink to send an email message to hothousedesign@cie.org.uk. Copy. So if you highlight the text, right click, you click on hyperlink. Then if you click on email address, enter the email address, and you'll see automatically mail to appears before the email address. And sometimes we do have a subject line. Yep, the subject line is make me a website. Okay, let's press OK. Again, if we go to the code, you can see the piece of code for the email link. So you got mail to the email address. For the subject line, you got question mark, subject to equal, make me a website. So again, if I go to the browser, depends if you have an email client installed. If you click on this text here, it should try and open up an email client. I don't think I've got Outlook installed on this computer, but it's okay. As long as it's in the code, then that's the main thing. So that's that part done. Attach the style sheet m16ss.css to the web page and then save the web page. So we now need to get the CSS panel. So if you go to panels, manage styles, click on attach style sheet, browse, and what's it called, m16ss. So this is one we need to attach. Okay, and you can see there's now some formatting to the web page. Okay, so save the web page and let's move on to the next step. Okay, so the style sheet has been created but needs to be improved using the most efficient syntax. Make sure your style sheet contains no HTML. Open and examine style sheet m16ss.css in a suitable software package, and then we're going to add to the following styles. Okay, so let's first of all open the style sheet. Okay, what do we need to do? Add the following to the style sheet. So H1, H2 and H3 will have the same font style. So if this font style is not available, then we'll refer to this one. If that's not available, then we refer to the default sans serif font. So what I need to do is click on new style. Because H1, H2 and H3 have the same style, we can include them all here at the top. So H1, H2, H3. And what's the first font? So let's copy this into here. So the font family will be, check for this font first. Okay, Trebuchet I think it's called. If that's not a bit available, then Trebuchet MS. So you can put a comma in, you can paste in or enter in the next piece of text, comma. If that's not available, then we'll go for the default sans serif font. Click apply. Okay. For H3, a 24-point font. Okay, so we don't have H3, so we need to create a new style for H3. And what else do we have? It's going to be 24 points. Let's type in 24, and because it says points, changes to PT. Apply. Add your name, center number, candidate number as a comment to your style sheet. Before I do that, remember when we said, where's it gone? Table borders must not appear on the final web page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to include a new style for table and TD, because I want both the external and internal grid lines borders not to show. So if I go to border and set the border size to 0, hopefully that's not going to show a border. Okay, so let's go down. So add your name, center number and candidate number as a comment. So to add a comment, you need to include /*, and you'll notice text is now turned green. So that's my name. Let's include my center number 5678 and then my candidate number 1234. To close the comment, again, you have to enter a star and then slash. Okay. Save this style sheet into your folder, and then for evidence 1, take a screenshot showing the content of your style sheet. So yeah, we're going to save it. Save. Okay. Just let me double check if it was saved. Yep, it was saved into my HTML folder. And then let me take a print screen and place it into my first evidence. Okay, so I'm just waiting for it to copy and paste. Here we go. And then crop off the part which we don't want to show. So make sure your print screen is clear. You show all parts of the code, and then resize it so it's nice and clear for the examiner to see as well. Save. So the only thing we had to do is we had to create a text style for H1, 2 and 3 so that they share the same font family. And then H3 we had to set the size to 24 points. I wanted to make sure the borders were not going to show, so for table and TD I've set the border size to 0 pixels, and then I've included my name, center number and candidate number as a comment. To add a comment, you have to write / and star. To close a comment, start and slash. Okay, so we've taken a print screen, we've saved the CSS. Question 12. A website is tested before it's uploaded to the internet. Describe how you would develop a test plan to test the hyperlinks as part of the test strategy. So evidence 2, we have to type your answer into the evidence document using no more than 100 words. So this is what I've typed in previously. So basically, what do we have to say? So we have to develop a test plan to test the hyperlinks. So what I said was identify each hyperlink to be tested. For each test, identify the expected output. The test plan should contain information about the actual output. So also the test plan would contain information if any action was required to fix a broken link. The same link would then be retested. So basically, you can create a table. You can highlight what links are to be tested. The expected output would be, if you click on the link, then it should take you to a particular page. Then if the link has worked, you can say yes, the link was working. If the link was not working, then what did you do to fix the link? Okay, so that's what I've done for that. For evidence 3, display the page in a web browser. Take a screenshot and in the browser and place this into your evidence document. So now evidence 3. Let's go to the browser. So file, preview in browser, or let's go back to the HTML page actually. Preview in browser. Okay, let me zoom out so we can see the whole page. And let's take a print screen. Again, we can crop off any parts which we don't really want to show. make sure you leave the browser window, so that's fine, I'm happy with that. Okay, evidence 4, let me just highlight that I've done these two, is to take a copy of the HTML source and place this into your evidence document. So the HTML source is the code, so you highlight all of the code and copy it. So where it says take a copy, this is basically a copy and paste. And for evidence 4, let's paste in all of the HTML code. Okay, so that's fine, I've got all of the information that we need. Right, question 13, evaluate the web page you've just created. So evidence 5, type your evaluation into your evidence document using no more than 100 words. So we have to evaluate the web page. So before we evaluate the web page, let me just look at it in the browser again. So you can see the background is not really the best choice. It could be something a little bit more simple or clearer. It could be a color or simple pattern. Some of the text is quite difficult to read. The logo blends in with the background. So let's see what wrote earlier on. So okay. So my evaluation is bright colors within the page attract attention. So you could say that's a positive. However, with the background colors and image, it is difficult to read the text. The color scheme do not identify with a professional company. The logos is far too big and has poor contrast between the background and text. The image of the beach cafe is taken from too far away. So you can basically, if you can justify your comments, to fine. So if we go back to the web page, you can see this cafe, the picture's being taken too far away. The logo doesn't really have to be this size. And again, the background and the text don't really blend in well together. Okay, so we've come to the end of this paper or this website question. So I've redone basically the March 2016 paper using Microsoft Web Expression. Just before we finish, let's go through the evidence document, because this is what will be marked for this particular part of the paper. So the first evidence was a print screen of the CSS. Okay, so you can see it's a nice clear print screen. Then we have to basically talk about a test plan. So to test each hyperlink, you first have to identify the hyperlink. You should say what should it be the expected outcome when you click on a hyperlink, what happened when you did click on a hyperlink, and what was did anything need to be fixed. Okay. The next evidence was a print screen of the web page in a browser, and then a copy of the HTML code, all of the code, as you can see. And then finally, we had to evaluate our web page. You know, we had to identify any positives, if there were, and any negatives. Okay, thanks for your time, guys. Please like and share this video, and please show your support to the channel, subscribe below. Thanks again for your time.